recording. Switch over the scene. And here we go. So, for those of you watching the VOD, we, unfortunately, I made progress last session, and then died, and then off-stream I grind to get back to where I was, and then a few hours ago I died again. So, we're back here. Haven't quite hit City of Tears yet, so... But we're making decent progress, decent time. With every run, we're getting more... I'm getting more confident in my knowledge of the map, in my ability to deal with enemies, and with that confidence, well, one, there does come more risk-taking, which will probably eventually lead to me getting an Icarus moment, but that hasn't quite happened yet. Every run I've made has had more forward progress than the last, so I would generally consider that to be a W. Good old Mira. Mila. You know, I feel a little bad. Her whole character arc is like, oh my gosh, you're, you know, such a nice person. Thank you for caring about me. And then, I can't remember if her name has an R or an L in it. Oh well. Wow. Okay. Okay. Thought that there was a platform there, and there just wasn't. Okay. I am super scatterbrained for some reason. That's crazy. Feels like my brain is like half a second behind what my fingers are doing. Because I stuttered there because it was like, oh, there's a thing up there that I could go get, and it's like, buddy, you already passed it. If you try and go back now, you're just gonna hit spikes. Okay, we gotta be a little careful here. We're not too far away from the bench, but 2 health is 2 health. Alrighty. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Stop camping under that platform. Holy crap. Oh, my nerves. Okay. Jeepers cripes, man. One thing that we might eventually see if we return to Lem enough times that he'll sort of make a commentary about how one of the reasons why the Wanderer's Journal is just a rock, even though clearly, like, paper exists in this world. You know, Cornifer sells his paper maps, but the reason why Wanderer's Journals are made out of rocks is that they are resistant to rain. And there was a time in which Hollow Nest switched all of their records from rocks to paper, but when the city started raining nonstop, then most of their records got destroyed, and so it's one of the reasons why, sort of the meta reason for why there's not like just big libraries where you can read up on all the lore. and you're left kind of picking up pieces, is that they did keep good records of everything that happened. It's just that all of them were on paper that got ruined. So, that kind of sucks. Because it's always sort of something that you kind of have to consider when, you know, we talk about history. We often talk about it as if we know what happened. And while, yes, we, you know, have to have some amount of confidence that things in the past did in fact occur, for a lot of stuff that was, you know, older than 100, 200 years ago, we didn't have the best records on it, you know? Communication was limited, the amount of people who were capable of writing was limited, and so a lot of things of, like, even things that we all know to be true, obviously, is like Alexander the Great, you know, the man who, you know, conquered most of Europe and the Middle East, and when, you know, and when he reached the end of his kingdom, he wept for there are no more lands to conquer. Like, there is less historical evidence that, you know, he exists than, in contrast, say, someone like Jesus Christ. And granted, like, and honestly, Jesus Christ is a noted exception in having a lot of historical evidence to back up his existence, and, you know, not just ones written in Holy Scripture, but, like, so it's kind of interesting to, you know, be presented with a world that's just like, yep, we don't really know what happened, and we're not really ever gonna find out, because everyone who was there is now dead, and everything that was written down about it is now ruined. And honestly, like, that's, to me, you know, post-apocalypse stories are very common and come in a lot of different varieties. To me, one of my favorite post-apocalypses is the one where there is a new society that has developed after the fact, but it's just been so much time that, you know, their relation to us in our modern times is as ancient and unknowable as, you know, our current relation to, like, you know, Greco-Roman times. And honestly, maybe even worse, because there's less evidence of our written work and of our structure. Depending on the post-apocalypse, of course. That's one of the reasons why I think Fallout is such a fascinating franchise, because you have sort of those moments where it's like, oh yeah, no one said the word America in, like, 200 years. Like, the idea of America died several centuries ago, because the only people who still consider themselves American are either still in intense, you know, bunker isolation, or they died. And the ones who survived probably don't have very nice things to say about America, so why would they bother keeping it alive? You know, say what you will about Fallout New Vegas's Ulysses and how much he tends to yap, but as a fellow yapper myself, I always found his kind of his take on the world to be really interesting and novel. It's like he, you know, he didn't really have, like, a love for America. He had no real relation to it, but he had an understanding of what that symbol meant to people, and how, you know, the violence of these nuclear weapons that they developed ultimately led to it being reduced to nothing. Like, sure, not everyone died during the fallout, but America died. It's like, that's, you know... And then, you know, you get into the game's larger theme across all of the entire franchise, which is that war never changes. And at the end of, you know, that DLC, you have the opportunity to kind of tell Ulysses, war may not change, so people have to. The flags that we carry have to. If, you know, if we are to survive, it's not a matter of, you know, resigning ourselves to our fates. If war never changes, and this is what war can do, then something else has to. Honestly, you know, like Fallout New Vegas is such a well-written game, man. Like, I'm always impressed with what that team managed to pull off. And, you know, not every story, like, needs to have, you know, a crazy amount of lore. I think you just need to create a connection from the audience to the world, and then have that connection tie back into a larger theme. Like, it's a, you know, obviously it's a lot harder, easier said than done. But, like, you don't need to get super complicated or fancy about it. It really just can be as simple as, okay, here's a character that's, like, that the audience will come to like because they're, you know, well-written and they're funny or whatever. And here's how the themes of this story directly affect them, and how the world both has shaped them and could be shaped by them. Oh, yeah, that's the... Okay. Right. Now we're back at the entrance. Yep. And then if we go this way instead... Okay. I could backtrack and get Joni's blessing again. Here's my thought. And it might just be that rather than prioritizing Joni's blessing, well, we're gonna get it, and it's going to be useful. But right now, 4 charm notches for... 4 charm notches for an extra 2 or 3 health isn't that great. Especially compared to killing enemies faster and killing enemies safer. So I think instead, we're gonna do a little bit of more backtracking all over the place to pick up some more charms. And we might, and you know, while we're out and about, we might as well pick up Joni's blessing, because it is a charm and it is useful to us. Man, these guys got a ton of health. I guess if you're splitting it evenly amongst 3 creatures, yeah, they're gonna take a while to go down. But, anyways. But, yeah, I think I want to prioritize getting that 6th charm notch, and then having both Mark of Pride and Shaman Stone active. Because I feel like that's just going to do me better in the long run. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Joni's blessing requires... Well, son of a gun. Yeah, no, we're getting Lumify Lantern, because Joni's blessing requires the lantern in order to see properly. And also it gives us an opportunity to pick up more lifeblood, because this has been an absolute disaster of taking 3 pot shots from the most basic enemies in the game. Alrighty. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? Oh my goodness. Pasta fazool. I am a fool. Okay. My brain just immediately turned off and I was like, yeah, I should use the simple key that I have to unlock Steel Confessor Gigi's door. And then my brain saw simple key? Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. Do I have more than one? I don't think... I only have the one. Yeah. Okay. Wait, actually, no. Holy crap, that was such a high roll. I could afford the lantern. Heck yeah. Oh my goodness. That is such a lucky break. I don't have any money left over for any of Leg Eater's stuff, but I mean, easy come, easy go. We picked up Fear of the Fallen, we'll pick up Joni's. I think I've rescued a few more grubs, so we can stop by Grubfather and see if he can give us a little bit more money. We'll need at least, I want to say it's 330 or so, in order to get at least one of Leg Eater's charms. And so that might be the difference maker, but even then, we'd still need extra money to buy the charm notch from Salubra, so it's gonna be more than that. This stupid... that guy. Playing impatient. Oh no, but we're gonna... If we can pick up the King's Idol, that's, So it'll definitely be a bit of round the elbow, get to the thumb, but... Yeah, we can get money here. And while we're here, we actually get to watch the cutscene that I sort of did off stream accidentally. Ah, well met. I thought I could sense the aura of the Feast warrior approaching. I'm impressed you found my sanctuary here at the top of the world. No doubt you've endured many trials and overcome many foes in your quest to find me. Now, no, don't speak a word. I, Nail Master Matto, who was taught the art of nail by the great nail sage himself, hereby accept you as my pupil. Let us begin the lesson immediately. Mastered the Cyclone Slash. I don't know why I have a hard time saying Cyclone. Your form. Exquisite. Now I know how my own master felt when he passed down his teachings to us. I hope you don't think me too forward when I say that I consider you to be my child. Yes, when I saw you before my nail art, I felt a bond between us suddenly flash into existence. You honor me beyond my words, people. Thank you. Bow. Yeah, Matto is a... kind of an... I just immediately burned that... just burned that lifeblood for no good reason. Oh well. But yeah, Matto's a nice guy. A weirdly too intense. But he's not the last Nail Master we'll see, so we'll kind of get to see the contrast between him and some of the others. Do I have enough for his map? I just barely. Oh, I'm so poor. 11 geo to my name. Okay. We're gonna play this smart because last time these guys nearly had my number, so just play it slow, play it cool. Oh boy. Well, Thorns of Agony helping. Alrighty, alright. Not even gonna give you the chance, fat man. Do love the sound that those guys make whenever they die, just... And just like that, we have another charm to our charm collection. Wait a second. Oh no. I did a very foolish thing. I grabbed Fury of the Fallen. Well, wait a second. Oh. Well, that sucks. Are we considering King's Pass its own place? Because, I mean, that's rough. Okay. Because either King's Path isn't showing up on this map. So I suppose that either we say that Dirtmouth... We either say that King's Pass is a part of the Howling Cliffs, in which case we can't use Joni's Blessing, or it's a part of Dirtmouth, in which case we can't use the charm that I wanted from there. So either way, that sucks. That's a loss. I think for the sake of what makes the most sense for the run, we're gonna have to go with... I think it makes the most sense to just call it a part of Dirtmouth, because it's not appearing on this map, but I think if we pull up the Dirtmouth map, it will show up there, in which case I think that's pretty solid evidence for that being the case. But okay. A little disappointing. But ultimately, I think Joni's Blessing, while it's not super great now, when we have the luxury of more charm notches, and because we're so limited on what charms we can equip, it will become more valuable over time. Okay, I'm gonna remember this place, but I'm not gonna go for it quite yet. I'm gonna come back here. No, I'm gonna know my limits. Make a beeline for the bench on the other side of this room. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Mother... I knew he would do that. I just knew it. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're here. We made it. Okay. But holy crap, man. That sucks. Ugh. It's like as soon as you get overhead, like they're very unique in the fact that they don't have a counter for pogoing except for backdashing. And like they're one of the only enemies that, honestly, they're one of the only enemies, period, that backdash. And so like it's just a movement that I'm not used to having to deal with a whole lot amongst regular enemies. There might be some bosses that, like, and even then, there's not that many bosses that really backdash. They usually, whatever direction they're facing, that's the direction they're going in, and I don't know. I think these guys are surprisingly annoying for how early on you fight them. They make good money though, but yeah, I think we'll play a little less aggressively. And just prioritize getting back to that chest. Did I pick up the king's idol? I did. Okay, cool. Honestly, if we're going this far in, and we can pick up, rather than going for more charms, rather than buying charms from Leg Eater, we'd be better off spending that money for one of the things that we can get from Sly's shop once when we upgrade it. So I think after we make our way back to Dirtmouth, we go to Crystal Peak, get the key, and immediately dip out. Oh boy. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. I'm malding. I'm malding. I'm so malding. Oh my goodness. That was so incredibly frustrating. I split up my fireballs between two enemies instead of bursting one down immediately. They both shot the faster projectile of their children when I was expecting at least one of them to not do that. Oh my gosh, that was... that was a spiral. That was a full, like, one thing goes wrong and I immediately start panicking. That was awful. Here we are. Sweet, sweet. Oh, yo, it's these dudes. Hey, guys. What's going on? You guys got something to say to me? That's what I thought. Right, going down. Excellent. Another charm notch in the bank. Unfortunately, we are so juiced up on lifeblood that if we wanted to swap out our charms, we would essentially be giving up 4 health. And I'm not willing to give up that much health, so we're just going to keep trucking with our current loadout and then make as much progress, as much forward progress as we can into Soul Sanctum, or, do I want to prio Soul Sanctum? Actually, no, not really. I want to prioritize Crystal Peaks, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I think this is just the way to... Yeah, this is the way to the tram. There might be... I can't... have the most miserable time recalling. No. So, yeah, we need to go up a room. Okay, here we are. Now that we have the funny lantern, we can... So if you don't have the lantern, you just straight up can't interact with this gate, because presumably you can't see it, even though it's always there. It's not like it just appears. But buddy, you got... Bro got stuck. That's a little frustrating, but I probably should have just spent the soul that I had rather than just letting myself get hit. Oh well. So yeah, goal is to do 2 things. 1, establish a bench on the lower half of Crystal Peak rather than trying to rush top half, because the only bench in the top half of Crystal Peak is guarded by a boss. So we want to establish a bench down here and remember where it is. And then the second thing we want to do is get the key to Sly's storeroom. Because with a little bit of backtracking to City of Tears, we'll have the money to afford the key to well, it's so funny. So you have to get a key so that Sly can get into his back rooms so that he can sell you a different key, which is different from the other key that he's already sold you. It's a little bit of a mess, but just trust me, there's a method to my madness. Okay, bench here. Another lovely rancid egg for some money. You son of a gun. Okay, we're talking about annoying enemies. I've said a lot about the soul guys in Soul Sanctuary, the little teleporting sons of guns, but these dudes, they're super awful, because another flying enemy, like, most of the... You'll notice a pattern. Most of the enemies that I hate the most are flying, because they're just hard to hit consistently with a nail. This guy has, like, a surprising amount of health for how small and puny it looks. And the projectile is fast and big and just generally a nuisance. Okay. So, whoever we start to lose health, we know where that bench is, and we will make a mad dash for it. But right now, we need to try and open up some back roads. I wonder... I imagine... I wonder if you had the Mark of Pride, if this would actually hit, or if they took the time to, like, make it impossible for your nail to hit through that. But even then, like, you're halfway through the parkour challenge anyway, and this isn't a parkour challenge that's really easy to go backwards in, so probably just best to keep going forward. So the annoying thing about these enemies aren't too bad. They're really more obstacles than anything. They can't be damaged by your nail, so instead you're kind of forced to use your soul to deal with them. And obviously, if you can't restore your soul... Hold on. Is there kind of some funny... No, if I had the double jump, then yes, but no. But yeah, if you have nothing to restore your soul by constantly, you know, fireballing them, then eventually you're going to run out. And so you kind of have to be very picky about who you decide to get rid of. Like that guy, just so I can skip this loop instead of looping around. So it's just about being smart with your shots. Hello, Cornifer. I would love a map. Okay, so we're close to the key. If we can play smart, then we will have plenty of health to take on the Crystal Guardian without having to get stressed about it. Because again, that dude it's not a difficult boss. It really isn't. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right now. Get it out of the way. Got plenty of soul. I'm wearing the funny charm. Again, he does two things. Well, three things. He jumps. He doesn't even jump on you like the Brooding Moloch does. But he jumps, he fires a laser beam, and he summons laser beams. The laser beams that he summons are random, and so sometimes you can kind of get pincered a little bit, but as long as you don't panic, they're easily dodgeable. And again, like, that was so easy. I'm so mad that I lost a run to that guy. And I lost a run because I just went in with not enough health. And even if that was enough, because again, I only took 1 damage in that fight. And if I had done that during the last one, I would have been fine. But I was just so stressed that I played worse. And I had a worse loadout because I was trying to prioritize Joni's Blessing when I should be prioritizing doing damage. Yeah, these guys are frustrating to deal with because they are invincible whenever they extend their crystals, and they extend their crystals whenever you get close to them. And so it's just like, okay, I go to hit you, and then they go, no. And so you just kind of have to, like, tango with them until they eventually let you hit them. They're just annoying. Now, I don't have a whole lot of purpose for going up this high, other than just talking to good boy Coral. Because over here to the right is an area that I don't stand to gain much from going into. So, like, here, I can just show it off, if they'll do it. Like that. So normally you'd need the double jump, but if you bounce off of that nail, then you can get up here. There's not a whole lot that I really need, so I'm not gonna even bother. Okay, line it up. Nice. I wonder how do I get to that? I think I need the ground pound. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Very, very deep in the sauce, because this is where I died last time, and I'm trying not to be an idiot. Can you tell that I'm pretty new to streaming? I'm having a hard time keeping up with one person. Oh my gosh, guys, chat, you guys are going too fast. You need to slow down. No. Ah, dang. A little too early. Ah, that was... Okay, I need to lock in a little bit. Okay. Hold on. Hold. Okay, we're good. We're chilling. Didn't really mean to go ahead and pick this up, but I was already here, and you know. Yeah, no, the platforming in this game is super tight. I really love how the knight controls. Just, he's so maneuverable in the air. And man, C-dash isn't, like, you know, the most useful for, like, combat, but it's just such a cool move. Like, just the vibes alone. The ability to just charge up and just... kaboom! Awesome. I will not be using it a whole lot, just because you have the whenever you start C-dashing all over the place, you have the tendency of running into enemies really quickly. And, I don't have the luxury of running into enemies all the time. Okay. Oh, good goodness. I am at a weird spot where I always have a hard time remembering how I get to the Crystal Heart. I'm trying to backtrack. No, you're all good. You're all good. I'm probably... If I can get to a bench or some place that's nice to wrap up, I probably will soon. Because I've been streaming for about 4 hours now. I feel it's like more than enough time. Okay, I found where I need to go. Okay. We're chill. Everything is cool, calm, and collected. We're gonna go down. There's gonna be some... Okay. Big bug guy. None of the laser dudes. Okay. Or some of the laser dudes. Just deal with them, get them out of the way, and rush that bench. Whew. Nice. Okay, we got the elegant key. Or not the elegant key, we got the storeroom key. Do we go ahead and... No, we're gonna come back here anyway, so we might as well just save that for later. We'll just go here. Such a cool move. Oh. And then the other cool thing is that you can do it off of walls too, which is super sick. Okay, a lot of these dudes. They only do 1 damage per, so it's not that big of a deal. Taking out multiple in one shot's always good. Yep, that's a mimic. Okay. Sugar honey iced tea. Okay, I very much underestimated how much health those guys have. Alright. Okay. That was... Ugh. Take our rancid egg back to Jin. Okay. I can't believe I never... Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm a fool. Alright. There's not really anything else I really want to do. It's, on one hand, I feel like this entire episode has once again been a battle of sheer entropy. But because we're still in the spot of we haven't beaten the Soul Master and gotten out of the Soul Sanctum yet. But we have made progress. We have a few more charms than we did previously. We have C-Dash, which is useful. And we're going with a different approach, charm build-wise. At least until... Yeah, no, you've been great to hang out with. I do appreciate you, you being here. But I think we're gonna call it here. I don't know the next time I'm gonna be able to stream. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure the next time I'm gonna stream. I think at some point I want to get with a buddy of mine. He's never played through Deltarune, so I want to play through with him as commentary, because I think that'd be funny. But yeah, that's really all I got. So thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic night, and take care.